I'm here with Steve, who I'll let Steve introduce himself because he's going to do it a whole lot more justice than me. But this has been one of the most incredible conversations in the last, I think it's been now like the last 2 hours, where Steve is one of the most authentic people that you will ever meet. And he has a wealth of stories. But to give you a little bit of context, he is the trainer to the stars. I'll let him list off the sorts of people he's trained because it is ridiculous the sort of talent that actually comes to Steve because he's an expert in what he does and he has crafted it for a long, long time. He's been in the special forces, he's been through the hard yards, and he lives and breathes life with an authentic lens. So, Steve, do you want to just tell everybody about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, firstly, I just have to say how much I appreciate sharing my story with you. So, Steve Uria is my name, originally from South Africa. And what I do every day of my life is exactly what I said to you, what I'm meant to do. I'm one of the fortunate few people who've been put on this planet and found my calling.
Yeah.
And my calling is to share the passion and the flame that I have for human movement and the human being bettering themselves every day and being able to share that. So I've had that platform given to me and like I said, I'm a conduit for that cause. I'm not a religious guy, spiritual to a degree, but I just live the life that I've found and I've chosen, or that's chosen me more than anything. And yeah, so basically 35 years in the game. I'd like to say 35 years old, but no, not quite, 49 now. Having been a kid who was just a mediocre sort of athlete and kind of, one of the kids in the popular group who was on the outskirts of never like the kid of the playground. I just always sort of sat back, listened and learned. And, as I got older, I found training, working out at the age of 16. I started in the gym and I started to get bigger and realized the respect people had, misconception actually, that you got muscle, you're stronger, but kind of like alpha male syndrome where before I wasn't the popular kid, now I'm bigger than the popular kid. So now people respect you. That was amazing to me. So I just got bigger and bigger, and then I finished studying a course in sports administration, got my degree. I went into the military. I had a heart murmur and stuff, so they tried in my medical classification downgrade me to not do much, and I told them that's not the life I live. Look at me, I'm 92 kilos and I'm 5'8", so you think I can't run on a field? Yeah. The guy laughed at me, said, "Here's your death certificate." No one's ever asked to get a full medical classification like that. I said, fine. I went in and I thrived. I found my passion there. I knew what I had. But what I learned and what I said to you, there's a difference between a dream and a vision. Mm-hmm. And I think people are so stuck thinking that everything's a dream. My dream is to be. Bullshit. It's your vision is to be. If you want it, it needs to be a vision, because if it's a dream, it'll stay a dream. Yeah. It's a dream for a reason.
Yeah.
But a vision can be real. I learned the adaptability and ability of the human mind, spirit, and soul on that military field. I learned what I could do with training. First of all, like I said to you, when I go to the gym in the beginning and I'd see these big guys lifting huge weights and I was struggling with the little ones, I was like overwhelmed. I thought I could never do that. But I soon learned that you can do that and you can surpass it because you want to. And if you want anything in life, you can have it, but you have to fucking want it, and that's the truth. So along the way, long story short, special forces taught myself the discipline I needed to instill in others and share. And then, traveling through the US, went to Los Angeles on a whim, visited a friend, ended up starting to train people because that was my calling. Ended up training Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, the Stan Winston Special Effects Studios for Jurassic Park, the cast of Friends. Then the first athlete really that I trained higher level was Oscar De La Hoya back in the day in Big Bear, California, helping him prepare for fights as he went up weight divisions. Yeah. I wasn't trained to do that. I was recruited, and my natural ability to figure out human movement is my gift. Yeah. And what he needed to do and how it worked. And I'd sat there and just in my brain formulated techniques that he could get bigger and stronger and come up against guys who naturally could hit as hard as that weight group called for. So I designed that, and that's when I realized my potential and what I could do for other people. And he went on and became the man he is. He was. I mean, I just helped a little bit with some of it. I'm not taking any claim for that. He's brilliant as a fighter. Then I got to train a lot of the NFL guys. I had Jamal Lewis from Baltimore Ravens, who broke the all-time rushing record in the second game after I trained him. Again, I did what historically people didn't do. You think it's a football player, he's got to do Olympic lifting. So that's what they do in training. So what am I going to do different? I trained him as if he was preparing for a fight in the off season. I trained him like I train a fighter, but I also looked at tape and I didn't know American football from South Africa, I knew rugby. But what does his body want him to do? How can we make this from a Ford Mustang to a Ferrari? And what I used to tell him, I mean, I studied obviously the cutting and small movements, muscle groups, outer thigh, inner thigh, all that stuff that works so hard that they forget about. I figured out and I taught him to do. But what I also said to him was, because he's a young kid who's so super talented, and all the NFL guys I ended up training was, guys, you've got a 5-year career. And then it's done. Forget the partying. Show up. Don't just be a number on the field. Be the number on the field. Be the guy people come to see. Don't be a player with a helmet who's just lost in the crowd. They coming to see Jamal Lewis. You bring the crowds because you're fucking amazing. I said, you know what? You're a Ferrari. All of you. You make it in the NFL, you are the Ferrari or Lamborghini of the human being. Because there's a million Toyotas. But listen to me. A Ferrari without the premium gas in it is going to perform like a Toyota. So when you go and eat your McDonald's and your garbage and drink your alcohol, remember you're toxifying that Ferrari system. So you have 5 years to prove who you are in this world. And you've been given a gift. Out of all the colleges, all the kids in the USA who want to be a pro NFL player, they choose 3 per year or 4 per year for that position. You've made it. How can you fuck this up? Think about that. Unfortunately for these young guys, there's no coaching and life skills, and no one teaches them with their finances and all that. So that's a whole other story. But anyway, just helping people be better at what they are. I'm not a businessman, by the way, so I'm not going to talk finances. But I do what I do out of passion and what I love. And when you said to me last night after the class, you're authentic, that rang true for me, because that is what I am. If there's anything I am, they can say whatever they want. I'm authentic, and I just follow my heart. I so strongly believe in the conviction and what I'm doing, that I won't let things stand in my. Of course, I'm a human and I get despondent at times and down, but I draw on that same switch that I found during my military training. That switch that helps you to adapt and overcome, to become the ultimate that you can, and to believe so strongly in survival. And by survival, I mean just being successful. Just what is your goal? What is your motivation? Why are you here? Why are you in New York City? What are you doing here? You could be in Cape Town with your family. Why are you here? So get the fuck up and go do what you're here for. No one's here to do, no one gives a shit. It's up to you. Like I say to my people in my class, you can have anything you want, but you really have to fucking want it. Don't tell me you want it. Show me you want it. It's up to you. And that's why I so strongly say there's no such thing as a dream. A dream is a dream. There's a vision.
Awesome. As you guys can see, it's so contagious, Steve's passion and enthusiasm, and really what he's talking about. You guys should definitely check out Steve. So at the end, we'll give him some links to check out. But the last question would be, if you could go back and talk to yourself when you first started your journey, all the way back, before Special Forces, before you started Switch, before you started all of your fitness companies, before, by the way, a little bit of a tidbit, Steve was the first person to pioneer fitness boot camps ever, right? So this idea of boot camps for fitness, the first one was created by this guy right here, right? So that's just a little bit of a side note, right? But before you started all those things, what would you tell yourself?
If I had the opportunity to sit with the younger, more naive Steve, I would have told him then, life will fuck you up. It's a hard question for me, because I believe that along the way I have coached myself all the way. But the only thing I can say is, they say an entrepreneur jumps out of a plane and then figures out how to fly. I would say if you believe in anything, and I mean anything. I'm sitting in New York City in the most volatile, competitive market in the world, because when I started this journey, I said one day I want to end up on this playing field. Yeah. I would have done everything probably the same because it's worked out. Mm-hmm. Because I taught myself to believe and to believe my belief. You know, it's easy to say something and not mean it.
Yeah.
You have to know in your heart what you want, and you have to go get it. And you have to know that those mornings you wake up and you defeat it, that you're going to get up and you're going to show up. Because a bad day does pass.
Yeah.
I can have a day, some days that I contemplate life, and the next day I'm flying.
Yeah.
So for those people who are out there who doubt and down on themselves, I've recreated myself 5 times. Mm-hmm. Literally, I've started again 5 times. And at 48 years old, I created Switch Playground, New York City. You're tired when you're 48, you know. You'd think it's when you're 20s that you're so hungry for something. But now it's knowledge with determination, belief, and hunger and passion. The biggest word I can say is passion, persistence, perseverance, and belief. That's it.
Amazing, man. All right, where can everybody check out you if they want to hear a little
Okay,
bit more?
so Switch Playground USA is the one place. Steve Uria on Instagram, Steve Uria on Facebook, URIA. There's a lot about me, obviously, on Google under Steve Uria. I mean, they've got pretty much all the stories there. Google's amazing. I sometimes go on it and it's like 30 pages. I'm like, seriously? But listen, all I can say is it's not about ego. I think anybody who does anything for the reason of ego or money, you might as well give up, because for me, it's about authenticity, passion, and belief, and the rest happens. Ego gets destroyed, and no one loves an ego. People want to feel real, and I've learned that. You learn from your mistakes. So I guess maybe going back to your question, what would I have changed? I would have forgotten about ego. I would have just said, do what you're doing because it's your passion and what you love, and forget ego, and don't get down on yourself about things. If you really, really want it, you can have it.
That's amazing. Steve Uria, check him out. This has been an amazing, amazing conversation. So glad that serendipity played its part, and I took the class, took a switch class last night, and met Steve. So we're in New York City right now, and thanks so much for your time, man.
Totally appreciate yours, and just to everybody out there, this man's a legend. And again, no dreams, visions.
That's it, guys. Visions, no dreams.